56 years ago today, Sesame Street first aired on 180 PBS public television stations using Jim Henson's puppets to teach letters, numbers and colors with the goal of preparing less advantaged children for school. Created by Joan, Ganz, Cooney and Lloyd Morrisett and produced by their Children's Television Workshop, the show by 2009 was translated and broadcasting in more than 140 countries. Watch the video at CBS here or see the behind-the-scenes tribute below. 1969. In recent years, the Emmy Award-winning educational show has tackled societal issues like kids in foster care, children with autism, homelessness in families, and hunger by introducing new Muppet characters to the neighborhood of one that is HIV-positive in the hopes of teaching compassion and tolerance for diversity. More good news on this date. The White House, designed by Irish-born architect James Hoban, received its cornerstone in Washington, D.C., and construction commenced on the future home and office of every U.S. president since John Adams' 1978. The first national convention of the American Legion 1938 in the Marine War Memorial was dedicated across the river from Washington, D.C., marking the founding of the U.S. Marines in 1978 by the Second Continental Congress, featuring a huge bronze statue, today known as the Iwo Jima Memorial because of the iconic war photo on which it was based. 1980, the National Museum of the Marine Corps was dedicated and opened near the Quantico Marine Base in Triangle V8 in 2006. Years ago today, one of the most famous dogs in the world, Hachikō the Akita, was born in Ōdate. He is beloved, revered, and looked at in amazement for his remarkable loyalty to his owner Hachikō Yuno, for whom he continued to wait at the Shibuya station, where they would go home together 4 years after Yuno's death. Hachikō with the Yuno family put domain. Yuno, a professor in the agriculture department at the Tokyo Imperial University, took Hachikō as a pet and brought him to live in Shibuya, Tokyo. Yuno would commute daily to work, and Hachikō would leave the house to greet him at the end of each day at the nearby Shibuya station. On May 21st, the professor suffered a cerebral hemorrhage while he was giving a lecture to his class and died without ever returning to the train station at which Hachikō waited. One of Yuno's students, Hirokichi Sato, who developed expertise on the Akita breed, saw the dog at the station and followed him to the home of Yuno's former gardener, Kazaburo Kobayashi, where he learned the history of Hachikō's life. Shortly after the meeting, a former student published a documented census of Akitas in Japan. His research found only 30 purebred Akitas remaining, including Hachikō from Shibuya Station. He returned frequently to visit Hachikō, and over the years he published several articles about the dog's remarkable loyalty. In 1965, one of his articles, published in Asahi Shimbun, placed the dog in the national spotlight. The first anniversary of the death of Hachikō at Shibuya Station pub domain. Hachikō became a national sensation. His faithfulness to his master's memory impressed the people of Japan as a spirit of family loyalty to which all should strive to achieve. Teachers and parents use Hachikō's vigil as an example for children to follow. Teru Ando rendered a sculpture of the dog, and throughout the country, a new awareness of the Akita breed grew. Each year on March 8, Hachikō's devotion is honored with a solemn ceremony of remembrance at Shibuya Station. Hundreds of dog lovers often turn out to honor his memory and loyalty. 1963, and 64 years ago today, after going missing for 6 years, the Scottish medical missionary and explorer of Africa, Dr. David Livingstone, was found by journalist Henry Stanley Pritchard, who famously asked upon meeting him, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume." One of the most popular national heroes of late 19th century Britain, the Congregationalist anti-slavery preacher, was one of the first Westerners to make a transcontinental journey across Africa. Livingstone preached a Christian message, but did not force it on unwilling ears. He understood the ways of tribal chiefs and successfully negotiated passage through their territory by traveling light and being hospitably received and aided by locals. His fame as an explorer and his obsession with discovering the sources of the River Nile was founded on the belief that if he could solve the age-old mystery, his fame would give him the influence to end the East African Portuguese and Arab Swahili slave trade. The story was dramatized in a 1985 and Spencer Tracy film. Watch a clip on that in 835 years ago today. The iconic film Home Alone, written and produced by John Hughes, starring Macaulay Culkin, premiered in Chicago, where the comedy takes place. Co-starring Joe Pesci and Catherine O'Hara. Photo of the house in Winnetka, Illinois by Emma Cosson, CC licensed. The film follows Kevin, an 8-year-old boy who must defend his Winnetka, Illinois home from a pair of scheming burglars, Harry and Marv, after his family accidentally leaves him behind when rushing to the airport with his siblings and relatives to fly to France for their Christmas vacation. Although Hughes exceeded his $10 million budget, the holiday classic grossed $4.7 million and held the record for the highest earning comedy film ever, until 2 decades later. Macaulay Culkin was paid $4.5 million to appear in the 1964 sequel, Lost in New York, compared to $1.7 for the original. Related, Incredible Home Alone Lego set is divided like an advent calendar and inspired by McAllister residents. Hughes hatched the movie idea as he was going away on vacation and making a list of everything he didn't want to forget. I thought, well, I'd better not forget my kids. Then I thought, what if I left my 10-year-old son at home? What would you do? He then wrote 8 pages of notes that developed into a screenplay. Watch the trailer and learn where the concept came from. 19 Happy 5th birthday to Neil Gaiman.